welcome to our Royal Duality indie dev chat, where we're just going to have a nice chill time and talk a little bit about the game that we're in the process of making at the moment. So I will introduce myself, and then I will let Hyaku introduce herself. So, I mean, most of you will already know me. My name is Ten, or Sazzle04, and I am one half of Hyaku 10 Games. I am the 10 part. And I will hand over to Hyaku to introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Hyaku, obviously the other half of Hyaku.
You sound like my wife, like I'm the other half. Okay.
Partners in crime.
Partners in crime. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a really short little catch up about Royal Duality, our game. So I'm just gonna pop over to the very well prepared and organised presentation that we did. Anyway, right then, let's go. Let's go. So, what is Royal Duality? Well, Royal Duality is a game that we've both been working on together. It's a free-to-play visual novel that's going to come out in August 2022. It has stunning voice acting. It is a very, very lore-rich game. It's very, very narrative heavy. There's a lot of layers of story as well. And the graphics, whilst I can't comment on it myself because I didn't make most of them, they are beautiful. But I'm sure Hyaku can tell you more about the beautiful graphics of the game. So, without any further ado, shall we watch the trailer? Shall we do it?
Roll.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's watch the trailer. Let's go. Please go. Please play trailer.
Welcome.
There we go.
My name is Noel, and I am the guardian of stories. And the story you are brought here to witness is Royal Duality. Or at least, that's the story the last time I read it.
Be safe as you go, Oliver, and hurry back. I can't wait to take tea with you again.
I'll be back before you know it. Keep the stove on, I won't be long.
Don't think I'll just sit around and wait. I'll be coming after you if you're not back within a fortnight.
I see. So you need this Lou chap to help you get into the castle. Who is this Lou?
I'm going to trust you, Sirius. I can't expect you to help me unless you know the truth.
Sam said she'd never met me before our time in Flowerberry Forest. When I close my eyes before I sleep, I just wish a flash of something would come back to me.
Am I really causing you problems, Sam? Are you gonna get in trouble because of me?
If I say yes, would it make a difference?
Of course it would make a difference.
Master Helmer, wouldn't it be better to just kill them?
We need blood, Driscoll. And it is a rare treat indeed to have such a feast of creatures within the castle walls.
Great deity, I bring glad tidings.
Oh, I do like glad tidings, High Cleric. Speak then. What news?
The narrative can be changed by you. Now, without any further ado, let the reading begin. Royal Duality.
There you go. There you go. There was the trailer. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the clapping. The graphics are fantastic. I just did the little sound editing bits, so I can't take all that much credit, to be honest. Yeah, so that is the trailer for the game. So we've got a couple of questions that we thought would be good to answer. Then we have some other questions that were actually submitted that we'll answer as well. So first we will start with the kind of generic questions that we thought might be useful for people who maybe wanted to know or are thinking about developing their own games. So question 1, what inspired us to create Royal Duality? Good question that was asked by me. So I'll let Hyaku go first, and then I will answer afterwards. So Hyaku, off you go.
Okay. So I've been a fan of like visual novels for quite a long time. So it was actually Ten's idea to. Well, I remember it was when we were in. Was it Starbucks?
It was.
And then and you're like, I've got this amazing idea, and I was like, oh, what is that? And then I mean that was quite a few years ago now, but it's I think it's something we've always wanted to kind of do, and it's something I've always wanted to do, like make a visual novel. I think it's quite a fun thing to do. It's quite artistically, there's a lot of different areas to kind of do backgrounds, sprites and stuff like that. It's a lot of different areas, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel like you certainly get to explore a lot of different kinds of graphic design, asset design, sprite design, CG design, and kind of like before you know it, you're like, oh wow, I've got this wraparound thing that I've made. And all of these things you never thought you would be doing. I never thought I'd be drawing lances and lanterns.
Exactly,
and I'm like, well, here I am, doing 200 of them.
Yeah, there was quite a lot. I think because, a few years ago, I just used to draw quite a lot of, fan art and sketchy stuff. So actually doing kind of, backgrounds and neat artwork. Where, you have to draw, neat lines and stuff.
Real line art?
What?
Hyaku? Real line art?
Real line art,
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately I couldn't get away with not doing that, but I don't think I could have ever just done it on my own, so, Ten was a great friend, and, I think we work really well together. I think we both come from story ideas from different ways, and I think you get kind of a whole new perspective on things.
That's very true.
With somebody else.
So yeah, I'll kind of just add a little bit to what Hyaku said. So yeah, I like being creative. I'm a creative little gremlin. But what I really wanted to do was try and take something from concept to delivery, and think about, you could have a really good idea for a narrative, but how do you translate that into a really interesting playing experience? Is it good? I suppose we'll find out when people play it, and tell us on Steam whether they think it's good or not. But also, you don't always get the opportunity we had in the last couple of years. You don't get that much free time where you have, kind of stuck at home. And I was like, if there is a time to start this project, it's kind of now to try it and see how much work is it, how labor intensive is it going to be. So it was a really good way to test that in a safer environment with regards to, not letting people down, not being able to go and see other people. So it was kind of a good chance for us to flex that kind of creative energy. And also, kind of interactive narrative is something that I've been really interested in a long time. I have played some visual novels, I've played some otome games and dating sims. I just wanted to try and do it myself.
Yeah.
And also, we have worked with voice actors, we've worked with testers, we've worked with people who've looked at our content from a kind of, oh, hello, hi, Squeaky Boots, nice to see you. Thanks for coming, by the way. Thank you so much for dropping by. Oh, I love your emojis.
I love the little emojis. They're cute.
These are fantastic. We're gonna get Derail being like, oh my god, look at all of the reacts. They're fantastic. yeah, we really just wanted to try and work with lots of different people as well, you know, different professions, different specialisms, and kind of bring all of that in. Wow, and now we're getting all of the emotes. I just love that there are like so many different cat ones, as you're gonna discover through this.
Yeah.
Need a nurse. Yeah. Well, so yeah, that is like our first kind of, you know, why did we want to make a game, and this was kind of why we wanted to make a game. And the next thing we have is, how do you work together to make a game? So allegedly we work together well. That's what Hyaku said. No, I'm kidding. We do work together well.
Are you gonna say something?
No, not at all. I'm being facetious because I can. No, we do get on really well. And how do we get on really well? If you ever make a game based on nursing or medical shit, I'm your woman. Well, you may see something in this game and be like, that's not medical science, that's just fake science, and you'd be right. There wasn't that much research put into the medical side of it. But I don't want to spoil anything. You'll find out when you play it, and you'll be like, what is this? This is not in any way. I call it out as soon as you see it. You'll see it. You'll see it. So yeah, Hyaku, I will let you go first, and then I shall go after.
Oh, okay. So I kind of did. I mean, I've already mentioned So I did like the CGs, the sprites, the RC kind of things on that side. We also kind of did a lot of I think when we started, I remember that we were on a call together, and it was like trying to plan the whole of the story together. That was quite fun. There was a really long spreadsheet, I remember.
Yes, the spreadsheet will be touched upon later as well. You'll feel like you were there, chat. You'll feel like you were on that call that Monday night. I'm kidding. It won't be as painful as the real call was, I promise.
So yeah, I also did some of the testing as well. And I found some bugs, and I made a bit sad.
She found some between Hyaku and a friend. They found about 350 bugs, and they're like, you might want to look at these. I was like, yeah, I probably will need to look at them before the end of the game, before we release it. Also, one of your favourite emotes has just been used.
Oh my god! That's the blurry image of a cat meme, isn't it?
It is. It's a blurry image of a cat. So I had to tell you. I was like, it's there.
Oh my god. Amazing. Anyway, yeah. There we go. I'm just looking at all the cats now.
Well, yeah, and also consultations. So that kind of writing and project management bit, that's kind of where my specialism is. Basically, the stuff that isn't like the really essential graphics. All of the little UI, I'll do like the buttons and all the kind of fonts and kind of UI design, but when it comes to like the character sprites, the CGs, that's not really my bag, to be honest. That's all Hyaku's fine work. I do the other stuff, so one of the things I'm really interested in is sound design. Because I think that it's really important in games to kind of set an ambience. So I'm really, really interested in how the dialogue sounds, how the atmosphere sounds, what sound effects we use, all of that kind of stuff. And writing, yes, I did write the script for this game. My first time writing a script for a game as well. But we were very lucky that we had music and sound can set a whole game. Like, I feel like atmosphere with sound and music design is really, really important. We were lucky because we had some fantastic voice actors as well, so our voice actors do a lot of the heavy lifting. Like, a script is good, but a good voice performance can honestly bring a lot to what is already fantastic graphics. I can't speak for the script because I wrote it, so it might be garbage. Who knows?
Voice acting really brings it to life when you've got, like, you know, the writing and the art, and then you kind of, when you hear that voice of the character, it's almost a bit kind of magical. You're like, oh my god, that is what I pictured in my head, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think it can really help people who process games in different ways. So I'm quite sound orientated myself. Like if I hear a sound prompt in a game, so like Nintendo have quite a classic thing where they won't have a lot of recorded dialogue, but they'll have loads of reacts that really help me pitch where this character sits and how they act and what they do. Yeah, and Little Squeaky Boo's just right. Final Fantasy VII has an absolutely incredible soundtrack and atmosphere, even for a PS1 game. Like it really sets the tone. You're like, oh, I know what I'm in for. So yeah, that is one of my areas of interest. And like I say, good voice acting makes that easy. So I've got some visual examples of what we do. So one of the things that Hyaku didn't mention is that she really likes to design merchandise, don't you? You like making little bits of merchandise, so you're like, no one will buy it, but I'll make it for myself anyway.
For myself, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody knows what eater bags are. So they're like, they're quite, basically, they're like really popular in Japan and stuff. So basically, if you have like a favorite character or
Little Squeakaboo has 4 eater bags.
You have 4? Oh my god!
A person of culture in our chat today.
That's amazing.
I'm sure all the chat are cultured, but we're safe. We're in safe hands.
We're bonding. Yeah. So obviously, I was like, well, nobody else can make Royal Duality merch other than me, because like, you know, obviously it can't go on, you know, the internet and be like, yes, can I buy it? So I was just like, I'll just have to make my own. So yeah, I've actually got I got for my birthday a few years ago, I got a heat press, and I've also got a sublimation printer. So I've actually made stuff like mugs and t-shirts and badges and all that sort of thing.
Hyaku's ready for when it does become popular.
When it's big, I'm there with my little printer like, yes, would you like a sticker or would you like a magnet? I'm prepared. Yeah. I'm ready. ready to go.
You're ready. And also, if anybody plays the game and gets to the end and he's like, can I have a badge? We'll give you a badge. Like, if you get to the end, you deserve a badge. So yeah, if you let us know that you got to the end of the game, we will send you a badge for free. That is the Hyaku and Ten Games promise. If you get to the end of the game,
guarantee,
you will get a badge for free. And Hyaku, I hope you do have a birthday every year.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, we've been clipped now. We're going to be held to the Hyaku and Ten promise of being sent a badge. We're gonna get someone who's like, I live in the Arctic. Please, may I have a badge because I did finish Royal Duality. I'm gonna be like, yeah. What's your address?
I'm giving you like a virtual sticker.
No, we've committed now.
Oh dear.
But yeah, so yeah, on the left, just for anybody who maybe can't see the screen right now, we've got examples of sprites, we've got examples of rough doodles, we've got examples of backgrounds and beautiful computer graphics that fill the screen, and we also have the aforementioned hot press mug. On my side of the screen, we've got examples of code, examples of my bad chicken scratch drawing, examples of script, examples of sound waves, and an example of a map that I designed for the UI. So that is all that good stuff. So the next question is, which 2 characters would you want to be friends with? So Hyaku, you go first. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch the trailer for a character, and then you're gonna justify why you want to be their friend. Now, your version of this, if I see Lily, I'm gonna lose my mind. Don't you worry, Dupu. Lily is not featured. No one wants to be Lily's friend. And also, it's lovely to see you here, but don't worry, she's not here. Oh no, I've been clipped.
No.
We're gonna have to give the badges away now. Squeak is always watching. Squeak, you're gonna get the badge now. You're gonna get it. So, righty, we will watch the Sirius trailer first. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Yeah, let's go. You that sexy, man. Indeed.
Princess Lily says, "Oh, Sirius, the best things in life are free." Well, she's absolutely wrong. Darling, meeting me is the best thing you'll do today. I'm serious, playful, intriguing, and ever so sassy. Royal Duality.
There we go. Well, it seems like Sirius has a fan already. So, Hyaku, do you want to explain why you want to be friends with Sirius, who is ever so sassy?
Ever so sassy. I mean, who wouldn't want to be friends with him? I picked Sirius because he's fun-loving, caring, friendly dude, and he really likes a drink. So we'd go to out drinking together, and it'll be a laugh and great times all around.
Yeah, and also, I will mention, because I know they probably can't come because of time difference, but Jet Barker is the voice for Sirius, and they are absolutely stupendous. A fantastic
amazing
performance, really fun, really witty, really classy, just fantastic. Fantastic VA work there. So, there's your first friend.
That was my first.
Time for you to have your
friend.
second now.
I'm allowed two.
You're allowed two friends. One of them doesn't have to be me. It's fine.
You all begin with S. I've just realised.
Right,
Sazzle as well.
Sazzle, yeah, you are also my friend. I'm part of the S Club. Thank goodness. Okay, are we ready for Sam? Let's go.
Let's go.
The adventure's barely started. We've only just left Flowerberry Forest. This is everyday stuff for a ranger. Sam Oaken, a trainee member of the Fae Guards at your service. How did that sound? Ha. Well, anyway, nice to meet you. Royal Duality.
Well, she seems like an incredibly sensible person to be friends with. Hyaku, do you want to explain why you want to be friends with Sam?
Yeah, I mean, so Sam, I think she'd be a really, loyal friend and someone you could kind of trust and count on. You know, if you feel a bit low, I think she would be, someone you could talk to and be a good listener. So yeah. That's why I'd pick Sam.
Something that might interest the chat is once upon a time this was going to be a dating sim. It was going to be an Automa game once upon a time, but the scope was changed. So if you really wanted to date Sirius, that was an option once upon a time in life. But sadly, things changed.
I feel like we've crushed some dreams there.
We may have crushed some dreams in the chat, and I'm so sorry. But who knows? We've got all the assets. Maybe we can make a dating sim. Okay then. I feel like they were very sensible choices. Now it's time for some not sensible choices, chat. Because I'm gonna talk about my friends who I would pick. Okay, now that character's voice feels like it could be in the game Fable. Okay, that is fantastic. Yeah, so again, Esley was a fantastic voice actress. Really, really good. Like, the voice actors, we were so spoiled for choice. Absolutely superb. Fantastic performances. Dating sim. Ooh, yeah, you heard right. It was gonna be a dating sim. There may be a copy of a dating sim somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
But anyway,
moving on.
Let's meet my friends. Let's talk about them. And again, you may get those dating sim vibes. We'll find out.
As someone who loves history, I understand how important memories are, but we cannot change the past, and we don't know what will happen tomorrow. I'm Christian Rovenberg. I'll keep my eye on you, cross my heart and hope to die. Royal Duality.
Who is this? Oh, okay, we won't tell anyone, Steph. Won't tell anyone at your work. But thanks for joining.
Oh.
Yes.
Hello, Steph.
Hello, Steph. Who is this? Who is this man? Who is this mysterious man? This is Christian Rovenberg. He is a figure who helps the group who are seeking out Oliver. The wizard, by the way, if you missed the trailer at the beginning, Oliver is a wizard who has gone missing, and Christian is going to help us on our journey to find Oliver. He is not the same as the rest of the group, but it is a mystery as to how he is different. But all will be revealed. He is very charming. He is very polite and articulate. He wants to basically create a museum. That is one of his life ambitions because he really likes writing and reading stories and he loves history. So very quiet, but there's definitely a mysterious side about him, so you might want to be a bit careful. I'll have him too. I'll have him too. Come to me, Christian. Turtlenecks are cool. I know, aren't they just... I actually have a jumper like that, chat, but I bought it from Morrison's, so not quite as cool as Christian's version, I'm sure you can see. So, now we talked about Christian, our good boy. So now let's go to the other side of the story. So, Oliver, the wizard, has gone on a journey to the castle where Count Helmeric lives, and now we are going to meet Count Helmeric. Wait for his voice, chat. Just wait for it.
I can read their every thought, their every hope and dream. How satisfying it will be when we finally extinguish those flames of hope. Oh, a visitor approaches. I am Helmeric, lord of this castle. The only certainty for a creature such as you is death. Royal Duality.
You see why I want to be his friend, chat? Do you understand? Do you see? So, yes, our broody and intimidating Count Helmeric, our vampire lord of the castle, who, for some reason, unbeknownst to us, has not left the castle for many, many years. And he has been there a long time. Oh, no, there's people in the chat. Also, I'd just like to say, I'm not going to name names, there are people in the chat who are voice actors in this game. Just want to put that out there. But yes, he can be the lord of my castle too. I also had the pleasure of listening to all of his dialogue many times and editing it, so that was a real joy. It was like ASMR, but evil villain style. It was very, very pleasing. Voice actors, oh no, Dupu, oh no, Steph, voice actors in the chat, so yeah, that is my friend. So why do I want to be his friend, aside from, you know, he has a very, very wonderful voice? He's not all that he seems. He's articulate, he's refined, he's very, very dashing and very, very noble. And it's the aristocratic vibes. I just really, really enjoy them. So that's my reason. So what would you like players to look out for? So we both have different answers to this question. Now I'm going to change form. I'm going to go first, and then I'm going to let Hyaku go after me. So this game has two endings, and this is why you get a badge if you actually complete the full thing. You will get the canon story ending, and then you'll get the canon game ending. And does he love teddy bears and flowers? I'm saying nothing. Yeah, so the game's ending is not the same as the canon ending to the story of Royal Duality. So it would be really interesting for people to unlock every ending of the game. The game has 6 different endings, but it also has 15 dead ends, which is where you make a choice at a pivotal part of the plot where you just don't survive the scene and you'll have to do it again. Oh gosh, I've been clipped. Yes, it's back. So yeah, there is definitely a dead end counter. You don't have to do them to unlock the full game, but it is very enjoyable to see all the different ways your characters can pass through the realm of the living, let's put it that way. And the compendium, so this game has a feature which is called the compendium, and what the compendium is as you play the game, the book will slowly fill with the contents of the story. So at the beginning, you might have a page that's half empty. By the end of the game, as you unlock more of the endings and the bonus content, those pages will become full. And that can be a bit confusing, so to help you, there is a timeline, and every time you complete a scene, or a bonus scene, or an ending, it will cross off how much you've done. How long is the game? That's a really good question. If you want to just do one run of the game, you can probably do it in about 2 or 3 hours. If you want to unlock every part of the game, you would be looking at maybe about 5 or 6 hours, possibly. There will be a game guide. We really strongly believe that people shouldn't have to struggle through this game. It's an experience that we want people to get to the end of. So, if you would like to play this game on stream, do let me know and we will give you a copy of the playthrough so that you can anticipate what endings you want to get, which bonus scenes you want to unlock, and how you'll do that. Because each character has a bonus scene based on how friendly you get with them. So if you want to make friends with Sirius, you can answer certain answers to certain questions during the story, and then his bonus scene will unlock. So yeah, we will be handing that out to people so that they can really enjoy the game without having to worry about getting frustrated if they don't get the answers right. Befriend Ira, she's the best. That sounds really impartial, Steph. That sounds really impartial. But I'm gonna hand over to Hyaku now, and I'm gonna let her talk about what she likes in the game.
Okay, so firstly, the crack ending. So there is a special scene you'll get if you, I'm not gonna say because obviously spoilers, but if you follow some certain choices, you will get a special scene with some characters that you won't see until one of the endings. So it's a bit of, a bit of a tease as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something to look out for. So yeah, as Sazzle mentioned, bonus scenes. So if you're you want to become friends with all the different characters, you get a special scene of them, and all the bonus scenes have CGs as well. So there'll be a special CG for each one. And
she remembers painfully because she drew them all.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of bonus scenes, so there's quite a lot of CGs to draw. Yeah, so I hope it's worth the pain of me drawing them all.
I think one thing I will say about the bonus scenes that are in this game is if you want to get to know characters and you want to get to know some of the less plot intense but really nice things to know about these people, why they're likable, why they're not likable, what their behavioural quirk is, maybe their special scene, wink wink, you can access that through bonus scenes, because the bonus scenes would otherwise slow down the plot a little bit, so you can access them to get to know the characters without slowing down the game. That's kind of why they are bonus scenes rather than like main story content. But I will say this, if you want the true ending of the game, a little tip on stream, you need to unlock every bonus scene and every ending, but once you do that, you will get to see the game's true ending. and that may or may not lead to future projects. And that's as much as I'll say. Wink. But yeah, carry on, Hyaku, carry on.
So yeah, as Zazzle said, the progress screen, so basically when you play through different scenes and acts and bonus scenes, they will cross off, so you can kind of see what things you haven't played, so you can get the true ending. And then my last one is so Hidden Null. So Null is the narrator of our story. So this is a bit of a Where's Wally situation. So I actually have hidden his sprite in one of the backgrounds in the game. So I won't say that you'll get a badge if you find him, but
you might get a sticker. You might get a sticker.
Don't, because it'll get clipped. That's what I'm worried about. But yeah,
like clip it.
So there you go. There's another additional game within the game, which is basically Where's Null in one of the backgrounds. There you go.
Or Where's Waldo for Americans? Yeah, Where's Wally?
Oh yeah, it's Waldo, isn't
Where's
it?
Waldo?
Yeah. It's Wally here. Yeah.
Where's that guy? Hidden Null. Yeah, I mean, it's he's just. You want to find Wally? Yeah, there's gonna be like a dude with like a red and white stripy jumper just in RD floating around. And like, there's Wally. Can I have my sticker now? It will get clipped.
Oh no.
Thanks. Okay, so Hyaku, this is a dedicated question for you.
Oh.
How did you create the artwork that was used in the game?
Oh, okay.
Next slide. There we go. I feel like I'm on a government presentation. Next slide, please.
Next slide.
Next slide, please.
Okay, so I've split up the slide here. So obviously between the sprites, the backgrounds, and the CGs. So firstly the sprites. So this is actually in the top left this is one of the character concepts. So this is actually Lou. Obviously he's changed a lot since the original. He doesn't have long socks anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, so me and Zazzle both did character concepts for different characters. So Lou was one of mine. So obviously this was his original design, which is then, as time's gone on and has, the game's developed, it's changed to what it is in the coloured version. So firstly, I did some roughs on. So I've got a tablet, an iPad. I would do all my roughs on that. I did a little photo shoot of myself, made different poses in that time, because we've got quite a lot of characters, so it's about kind of finding poses that suited different characters and finding some kind of variety between them. So, because the main characters as well, they have a main pose and they also have like an alt pose. In the game, sometimes the sprites, the characters hold items. So it was kind of important, like, having a pose that fitted that sort of thing. I had to kind of, think about which poses would suit which scenarios, I suppose. To do the kind of final drawings of the sprites and everything, I actually moved onto my computer. So I did, I've got like a Huion tablet thing that connects to my computer, which kind of doesn't have a screen on it, but it kind of, so I can draw it with one hand and look on my computer screen with the other. And so I used Clip Studio to do like the neat, clean artwork. So for the backgrounds, this one was actually the front of the castle. So I actually used some like reference photos here. So this is actually Kirkstall Abbey in Leeds. The backgrounds, I mainly did them on my tablet, and then kind of, depending on how complicated or easy they were. I found that I quite like doing the forests and stuff like that, because you don't need to do neat lines, which is quite nice. You can just be like, oh, it's nature, so Tree branches can go anywhere.
It's nature.
It's nature. Yeah, there's no straight lines in nature. It's fine. So finally the CGs. So oh yeah, I didn't mention this actually. So before we kind of obviously started drawing and everything, we made a list of like which backgrounds you would need for different scenes, and a list of like what, you know, if the CG was going to be in certain scenes, that sort of thing. So you can see in the bottom right, my little checklist here. That's a small crop of it because it's actually quite a lot bigger than that. But yeah, so basically once I completed one, tick it off. So for the CGs, so as you can see, there's kind of a difference in my roughs for the CGs. So
I really like that one on the right with the like.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a bit avant-garde. It's a little bit abstract.
It's a Picasso, yeah.
It's, you know, it's modern. It's postmodern. It's linear. I'm sorry. Carry on.
Well, so some CGs I kind of had a kind of clear idea in my head about where people were going to be positioned and stuff like that. But then other ones I end up really thinking hard about it, and then I'm about to go to sleep, and then I'm like, I've got an idea. So that's where that creation came from. It was like a midnight, and I was in bed, and I was like, I need to draw this quick before I went to sleep, just to give me, because it's difficult with certain scenes where there's quite a lot of characters, so I'm trying to make each CG look a bit different and a bit fresh, because you kind of don't want to do the same sort of layout every time. So that's why I kind of made this little chart thing that you can. My head's covering a bit, but so because spoilers, obviously. So yeah, I put when I finished a CG or when I did like a rough version, I would put it on this little chart. So then I could see it in comparison to the other ones I'd done and sort of thing. Because I wanted to do a mix of like close-up shots and kind of more far away and stuff like that. So yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I don't know if I've really explained how I did it, but that's
you did. You
kind of how I did it.
You provided a very comprehensive explanation. I know little Squeakaboo's gone, but thank you for coming. And thank you for clipping the fact that we promised people stickers and badges. Really appreciated that we'll be held accountable for that now, so thank you. No, I am kidding. Genuinely thank you, though. So, next question is for me. How do you plan a game like Royal Duality? Well, I actually think one of the best things to say in this vein is that you really learn as you go with this kind of game. It was quite ambitious, and I think part of the reason for the ambitiousness is because you don't really appreciate the scale of how hard something's going to be until you start doing it. So we decided all of the narrative things we wanted to establish. What was the story going to be about? What was going to happen? What were the different outcomes, etc. Then we kind of understood, well, what do you have to know to get to the end of this game? And what constitutes as bonus content? What constitutes as a nice to know, but you actually can understand the story without it, and kind of went from there. So that was like, what are your key scenes? Once all of that was established, we then built this rather large process map. And as you can see, well, for those who can't see, let me explain. It is a list of boxes that kind of vertically go down. You will occasionally see little circles that go off to the end, but they're kind of dead ends. And as I mentioned before, there are dead ends in this game. So that's kind of where they go. You do have parts of the game that you don't have to play. But you will find that the narrative doesn't feel as satisfying if you don't kind of investigate everything. So I would encourage that you do that. Then you will get an ending based on certain items that you have collected throughout the game. So make sure you collect as many as you can, but collecting them is not the only thing you have to do. You then have to choose the right items to get the right ending. If you want to get the good ending, I really recommend you think quite carefully about which items you choose to take with you into the final act of the game. So once you've done all of that and you establish, well, this will happen and this is what this game is going to look like from a build perspective, the architecture if you like, you then think about how will this be conveyed through dialogue, through images, through gameplay mechanics, how will this be communicated in a story. Now, your priority, because you want to give your voice actors a sufficient chance to do all of the recording, where you can, like, really write that VA voice acting dialogue first, so it will give them plenty of time to go and record that whilst you're writing the rest of the dialogue. It actually really helps because it gives you a skeleton to work around, because you know that certain things have been established in the plot, certain people have said certain things, and that's locked in and you can't change that. Now, some people might find that a little bit limiting, but it was actually really good for us because it grounded things we had to keep the same and what things we maybe had a bit of wiggle room to change. So that's kind of all of the writing and the project planning and all of that stuff. Very briefly, what you then also do is, from a technical perspective, you think about, well, I know what I narratively want to do. Now I have to kind of make it go. So where does a scenario begin and end? And we'll call that a scene, for example. In the game itself, they're called chapters, but from a kind of back-end perspective, they are scenes. Then you think about, well, what are all of the things that a player's going to have to do to make the game go? And you set up variables. So, you know, the game is checking whether a person has done a certain thing. And if they've done that thing, go and do that. Royal Duality ended up with over 200 variables. I thought it was relatively simple, and it is relatively simple. Most games have a lot more than that, but even for a visual novel, it felt like quite a lot. And that's why I said you don't realise how big a game is until you start making a game, and then you realise it's quite big. And then the final thing, of course, is you then code all of that graphics, all of those sounds, all of that script, and that's kind of what makes it go. But what I would say is, if you have a vision of a thing you really want to do, regardless of the scope and the size of it, I really encourage you to go with what your creative vision is. Don't scale back because you feel like it is too difficult, because you then might find that your motivation might lag behind, because you're like, actually, this isn't really the thing I want to make, it's the practice thing that I'm making. If you have a good mindset about that and it's not going to impact your progress, then yeah, you can build things that way. But if you actually feel like I'm wanting to stretch for this big thing and I'm just doing this little thing for a test, that can also make your motivation dip a little bit. So I would encourage you, if you've got a really good vision of a thing and you have the willpower to do it, really power through and do that thing you really, really want to do. I mean, we made small versions of this game that were just between the two of us, and then we eventually said, we're going to make this game, we're going to make it big and ambitious. And we were really lucky that we had a lot of talent who really supported that vision of it being complicated and big and confusing, and working with us to make it really, really good. And listen to people who were working on your project with you. You know, me and Hyaku worked together, but we couldn't have made this game without countless other people. There were, maybe, no exaggeration, maybe 40 other people that made this game what it is. So yeah, listen to those around you, listen to those who were invested in your project, and think about what they have to say as well, because they have their views as well. Okie dokie, so next, now let me just get my presentation going. So, next question. Are you working on any other projects? So, yes, we are working on some other projects. We are working on an audio drama for our game, which is called The Tales for the Silent One. There is a trailer available, but in the interest of time, we're not going to watch that today, but there will be links made available, so you can watch it. And the reason that we made Tales for the Silent One is because we're aware of some of the accessibility issues with the engine that we chose, that are going to be very difficult for us to make an equivalent game experience with. And in, you know, recognition of that, we didn't want to just make a subpar version of Royal Duality. We wanted something that had the richness of the game from like an enjoyment perspective, from a lore perspective, and we want to give people who maybe just don't like playing games a good experience for them, and the good experience they'll have is through an audio thing rather than a game that they'll play. So yeah, Tales of the Silent One is going to be released at some point after the game has been released, but there is a trailer available. We have some old characters returning from Royal Duality the game. We have some new characters that are exclusive. Hello, Lovable Rogue. Nice to see ya. So yeah, we will have some old characters returning. We'll have some new characters returning. And new characters approaching. I guess they're not returning. So it'll be a really, really good project for those who are new into RD, those who are returning. It'll be nice for them to come and listen to their old favourites again. Any comments you want to add to that, Hyaku, or is that sufficient?
No, I think you said everything.
I just rambled as I do. Okay, so another project that is going on. Lovable Rogue, your timing couldn't be better. It's a mysterious side project. The setting is very, very different. The feel is very, very different from Royal Duality, but there may be some common characters between the franchises. That's as much as I'm going to say on it. Again, we were really, really lucky because we had a lot of returning voice talent joining us again, and we've got some fantastic new voice actors coming in, delivering some very different performances than Royal Duality. So if you play one and you didn't like it, you may well enjoy playing the other game. We'll leave it there. So, submitted question from XDropsX. Are you making a game guide? It's my first visual novel. We did actually touch on this a bit earlier. We are making a game guide. Now, you cannot read the content that's here. Well, not easily, you can't. But we will be providing a game guide to anybody who wants to stream the game, just play the game in their own time, but they don't want to go through guessing. We will be providing a guide to people. One thing that I think is quite important about this game is the journey is good, but we want people to play the whole thing, so we don't want them to get frustrated when they can't find out what they need to do and where they need to go. It's about the experience of the whole narrative, which is why we've made a guide, and that's why we'll be happy to provide that guide to people if they wish to give it a go. So that's that. Next question we have. Okay, so this is from 07 Cass PF. The cleric characters seem sinister. Are there any nice clerics? Clearly someone's been watching the trailers, haven't they? Well, good news. There may be some nice clerics in the world of Royal Duality. They may not all be bad, despite what Royal Duality would make you think. There's a certain character there on the screen right now. They've been very well received so far. They've had really flattering things like Cinnamon Roll, Precious Baby, the Sweetest Bean. Many kinds of nice comments about this character. The audio drama will reveal all, so we can't say too much about them. But they are a bit of a hit. Would you agree with me, Hyaku?
Yes.
Imposter. It's like, oh, look.
They are very popular.
They are popular.
Yeah.
Yes, and well observed. Unicorn, indeed. Points. Very good. Do think. Okay, so this is from Mandez. Are there any Easter eggs? Can you give us any clues? Well, Hyaku, I will let you take this question.
Yes.
Yes, there are.
So yeah, there's some characters who only appear in certain endings, or the crack ending, as I said before. So be on the lookout for them. You know, you gotta try and complete everything. No, they're really fun characters.
Each of these in particular will all link off to one of the two side projects that we mentioned before. So, okay, this is a bit of a random question, but thank you anyway. This is from Lana Locke. Which beauty spots would you recommend in the UK? Well, Hyaku has taken plenty of pictures of beauty spots in the UK. I'm sure that you have your views. I certainly have mine. Beauty in the UK, I know exactly. But yeah, Hyaku, your beauty spots in the UK. Go.
So, yeah, I picked Manchester, which is probably not what you would immediately pick, but it has quite a lot of cool historic buildings and things to see. That's
Well, for Glenalloch, or Glenalloch, whichever way it's pronounced, I will try and advertise the Lake District somewhat differently. Well, thank you for the question. It was not what I expected, but it was a nice question, so thank you for submitting that one. The Lake District is a lovely place to go, and it isn't actually that far away from Manchester, so you could probably do them both in the same trip if you were in the area. So yeah, Lake District is kind of known for its beauty, particularly its kind of mountains, the lake, as it is synonymous with the lakes. But also there's quite a lot of hotels and B&Bs that are nearby that are kind of affordable, very, very conventional, traditional British places to go and stay. And when the weather's good, you can do some fantastic hiking in the area. What I would caveat that with is when the weather isn't very good, you are kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere. So I hope that doesn't put you off Glenalloch if you're thinking of going there. So yeah, no, thank you for that question. And the last question, because it was so fun, I decided to leave it till the end. We got this from, I guess it's Baker Boy, but it's like back 3R Boy. I feel like I'm too old. Yeah, so Baker Boy, I'm guessing it's Baker Boy, but if it's back 3R Boy
could
1,
be a Backstreet Boys fan, who knows?
Could be. So what are your favourite emojis and memes? Ooh. So we saved the best question to last, debatably. So do you want to explain yours first, Hyaku, and then I will go second.
Can you explain a meme?
I mean, the top one might require some explanation as to why you think it's funny, but
I just thought it was really funny. I just like really stupid memes, like really dumb memes. I mean, it's true. It is true. And I mean, cat memes are the superior memes, I would say, as well. They both make me laugh. Like, why is it empty? I mean, I relate. I feel like that cat. Some days.
So sorry.
I'm also like the man in the pear other day. You know?
Yeah.
And then yeah, there you go.
I really am going to clip that later on. I'm gonna clip you.
Oh no!
Like, I just really like dumb memes. Okay, I just really like them. I'm really glad that in the chat, Dupu has noticed the taste of brother. May I have some oats? One of my favourite memes. But I also
remember like you quoting that to me, and I was like, "What are you talking?"
I mean, and the thing is, I'm not a VA, but I tried really hard. I was like, brother, may I have oats? And you were like, what? And I was like, oh, no, man, it's too much. It's too much. But my actual favourite meme is the Ragoon, the crab Ragoon. And I don't know, I think it's just the look of incredulousness on the baby's face, where it's like, mother, the Ragoon mother. Again, I just think of this creature with Helmric's voice for some reason. Like, just a really deep, like, mother, I crave Ragoon. Which is not appropriate given that it's a small child. Definitely doesn't sound like Helmric at all. And yeah, my favourite emoji is the upside down emoji. It's my absolute fave, because people are like, what does it mean? I'm like, whatever you want. What do you want the upside down smiley face to mean? It can mean whatever you like. So yeah, that is my absolute favourite. So that is the end of our little presentation today. So firstly, thank you so much for coming, everybody who came and attended, I'm making it sound like class. Thank you for attending class. You will get a certificate on the way out. No, you won't. But no,
don't say that, because then they'll clip it.
It'll be clipped, and then we'll have to make certificates for attending the Royal Duality Meme Fest. No. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Oops. Oh, clicked for certification.
No, why did I cursed it then, didn't I?
You
'Cause I said
did.
so.
You could have just not mentioned it, but you went there. And now Dupu has the clip, and we're gonna have to make a certificate. But no, genuinely, thank you everybody for coming. It was really fun. It's good for us to talk about creative process. We also kind of just made this video to have as like something that we can watch again in the future. And maybe provide to devs who are starting out and they don't know what to do. I don't know what they're going to think of the meme bit. They may have thought some of the earlier stuff was a bit more useful than the end. If you want to check us out separately, our Twitter handles are on the screen. So I actually have two. So the one that I've linked there is my VTubing one, but it kind of links all together with Royal Duality and Hyaku and Ten games anyway. And then of course we have Hyaku's as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't post very often, but I will maybe like memes on there. So, you know, if you see a good meme, send me a meme.
If you want dank memes, or you want us to, you know, educate ourselves and improve our meme quality, then please do tweet at us. We clearly need an education in good memes. Clearly. But yeah, thank you for coming. There will be more information coming out, certainly about the waiting room. You will be able to find the trailers for the audio drama on our YouTube account, and luckily everything links back to the Royal Duality Twitter account, which is Royal_Duality. So if you'd like to find out more about any of the stuff, go check out the Twitter, and you will be able to find links to pretty much everything that we've talked about. That is it. You are free. Class is dismissed. You will get your certificates. Thank you for coming. And yeah, we will be hopefully talking to you again sometime soon. Have a great night. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you again in the future. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.